Hi, my name is Kris Godwin, and I'm going to talk to you today about houses and structures. So a lot of times we get calls or hear about people who hear things in their walls at night, sometimes even during the day, or they have a smell urine odor that seems to be coming from somewhere in the house. Most of the time this is in an attic, and a lot of times these kind of things start coming up in late summertime, like in July or August. And this can be an indication that you have bats in your attic structure or somewhere else in the house. It's always good to try and take a look on the outside, see if you see any animals that may be attached to the outside of the house. And if you have an animal that's inside the house, there are some steps that you need to take immediately. One, never touch or try and catch a bat with your hands. If you can isolate it under a bucket or a big coffee jar or some other type of containment device without touching it, we would advise trying to do that. 3, if you don't know whether or not you've been bitten or anyone else in your house has been bitten, such as a small child, contact your local health department or your physician's office immediately. They're going to want to set you up for rabies post-treatment shots. Rabies is 100% preventable, but it's 100% fatal once symptoms start setting in. So it's really important to make sure that even if you're not sure whether you've been bitten or not, to go ahead and get that process started. So let's take a look at some things for you to look at inside your home and outside your home. Home maintenance is one of the things that is always tough for all of us to keep up with when we own a home. And some of the ways that bats get in are when structures start to get weakened or old. So one of the things you want to look at is like the louvers that go up into your attic. And as you can see here, I've got the green laser light. You can screen these from the inside with some hardware cloth as a preventative. And a lot of times if bats have been using these kinds of things for any length of time, you'll see some staining on the outside. It'll be brown from where the animal's fur and the oil has come off and rubbed off from them going in and out of the structure. Another area that bats tend to like can be chimneys, because chimneys are hard to maintain, but a lot of times you'll get some flashing, like on this chimney here, that'll come loose and bats might want to get up under it. If you have a chimney cap that may not be sealed off, sometimes they'll get in those. If you have a chimney that's not part that goes inside your house but leans on the outside wall and it starts to separate from the house, bats will sneak in and behind that as well. There can be other structures within a home that they can get into from the attic. Any kind of loose boarding or other types of areas that just get damaged from water and use and wear. Bats can slip up under and get up inside an attic or other parts of the structure. Another area that bats like to use is they will get up underneath shutters. So if you have a loose shutter, and especially like on this wall here where it gets a lot of sunlight during the day and can stay pretty warm, a lot of times bats will get up under the shutter structures if they're pulled away and seek warmth and hide. I don't know if you can see it in this video. I've even got a little anole here. He's kind of doing the same thing. So just be aware that can happen. And even during this time of year in the fall when animals are beginning to migrate, a lot of times I'll have them just a single bat on the side of the house that's just kind of trying to stay warm for the night until it begins its flight the next evening or within a day or two. So it's not unusual to see a bat actually hanging off different buildings, but generally they don't stay there very long. Again, don't try and handle those animals or touch them in any way, but feel free. You could probably get some pictures and stuff, and it's a good educational moment for a lot of kids. So if you decide to get up in your attic, I would suggest that the first place to look if you have a louver is in the area of the louver. They generally aren't going to go very far from it. They like the warm atmosphere that's inside an attic. My attic does not have one. However, it does have some seams and stuff up on the ceiling that if those were to come loose, bats could get underneath and get into my attic as well. I wouldn't disturb the animals a whole lot, but they're generally not going to fly around if you shine a light on them. But they're probably going to get a little mad and chirpy, so you'll hear them. And again, when you get up in an attic, if they've been in there any length of time, you'll probably smell it, especially during the summer months. You'll get that strong urine smell. But I would recommend calling a professional to help you get these animals out. We could create one-way doors that let the animals out but not back in, and there's a lot of private companies in the state of Mississippi who do this kind of work on a regular basis and who are really good at it. So you can call the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, or my office, USDA Fish Wildlife Services, and we can get you in touch with folks that are in your area that you can give a call and have them come out and take a look at the issue. Remember, bats are really needed in the environment, so we don't want to kill these animals. We want to get them out and get them to move someplace else that might be a little bit more friendly than your house. And again, a lot of bats are having a lot of issues with white nose and other things going on in the world today. So not all bats are problems. Not all bats carry rabies, but we want to be really careful about handling these animals. So don't handle them in your attic or in your house. And there's two species that you'll probably run across in your house if you have them, and that's going to be the Brazilian or Mexican freetail and the big brown bat. And the big brown bats, in my opinion, are just gorgeous. They're a real rich, dark chocolate color, and they're a fairly large bat, but really pretty. So again, you may not think so, but they are much needed in the environment with our insect control and just a really good indicator of health in our environment with the presence that they have. So any questions, again, call a professional, and or you could call someone in the Bat Working Group, and the Mississippi Bat Working Group folks can help you out too. So again, good luck and have a great day.